Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, September 4th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. The chance of asteroid Apophis hitting Earth may be slightly higher than we initially thought, and this comes after a small asteroid hits Earth today, just the ninth asteroid we've located before impact. Keep calm. It's boom time. A sad story in Georgia. At least 4 killed in a Georgia high school shooting, 9 injured. A breaking story and a sad state of affairs in the mental health of American youth. The Hurricane Center is tracking 4 systems with tropical potential, but none of them look really significant. Here are the 4 systems in question. Less than 20% chance over the next 7 days for Disturbance 1. Disturbance 2, 30% chance over the next week. 10% chance of Disturbance 3. And 4, a 20% chance. Although we do have tropical activity, the hurricane season is embarrassing. Southern California to get blasted by the warmest heat wave in years. The only problem, the mainstream media is not reporting on the other 70% of the U.S. with record cold temperatures. Record-breaking cold in huge numbers. Take a look at the east here. And what you're going to see is the last 24 hours, September 4th, and record-breaking cold in 7 states. All-time records. But not a peep from the mainstream media. Quick look at the GFS model. We'll move it through. Is going to show a very quiet week in the U.S. Very little activity. Look at that. Almost nothing happening. We do have this moving into the picture Friday, September 20th. But other than that, very low-level activity. We do have a potential tropical system crossing the Yucatan and moving up into the south here, but nothing significant on the radar. Here's the full forecast. Excessive heat across the western U.S. Heavy to excessive rainfall over the Gulf Coast. Excessive heat is forecast to impact the southwest U.S. through much of California and into the coastal Oregon and Washington today and into the weekend. Excessive heat watches and warnings and heat advisories have been issued. The potential for heavy to excessive rainfall will shift across the Gulf Coast from west to east through Friday. Seismic update. Let's take a look at the model. Oh, a big rumbler just popping off in Papua New Guinea. 6.2, no chance of tsunami. Is that on land? Right offshore, right off the coast there. So a big rumbler hitting live as we record. 6.2 in Papua New Guinea. Overall, very low level activity. 3.1 in Nevada. Some activity in SoCal here in 2.6 in Tres Pinos, California. But the big story, a 6.2 in Papua New Guinea. Worldwide volcano news for September 4th. Reventador, 14,000-foot puff. Swanosima on the list with the 6,000-foot puff today. Ibu to 8,000 feet. Sabancaya to 24,000. White Island, low-level eruption. Fuego to 15. Swanosima to 7,000. White Island to 4,000. Reventador, 14,000-foot puff. Ibu. Oh, no flight level there. Sabancaya, intermittent emissions. White Island to 4,000. Swanosima exploded to 7,000 foot today. And that is pretty much wrapping up the list. Liwatobi, 10,000 foot puff. Ibu to 9,000. Swanosima to 7. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the 4th. Quick look over at space weather. We did have a weak passage of a coronal mass ejection from that long duration M5.5 2 days ago. Was not on NASA or NOAA's purview and not in their models. But we said it might be a glancing blow 3 days ago when it occurred. And in fact, we did see a bump up in telemetry here on all counts. And that sent the KP index all the way above 4, but never reaching G1 geomagnetic storm. The 3-day forecast is all quiet across the U.S. as far as geomagnetic storming activity. Last 24 hours, low-level activity across the disk. There are sunspots. They are just not doing very little at solar max, as it appears as if a lull in the sun has just occurred. NASA's newly unfurled solar sail has started tumbling end over end in orbit. Surprising observations show. Whew. We've got all these issues with Boeing, and Boeing is partnered with NASA, and NASA is never a straight answer. And now this. A NASA spacecraft erected a large solar foil sail in orbit around Earth last week after a failed attempt days earlier. More failures. However, subsequent observations of the spacecraft show it tumbling or wobbling through space, which may have also impacted its trajectory around the planet and its ability, well, to gain electricity through the solar panels and the solar sail. Holy crap. A NASA spacecraft that recently unfurled a state-of-the-art solar sail in Earth is tumbling or wobbling through space as it circles our planet, new observations show. NASA representatives told Live Science that the unusual motion was expected, but did not explain exactly what was happening. Just like we said, never a straight answer. Breaking news, a small asteroid will hit Earth's atmosphere today. We did not get confirmation that it hit yet, but it is expected to burn up. This is only the 9th time ever that we've spotted an asteroid before it struck us. And it was Jacques Fazekas at the Catalina Sky Survey in Arizona who discovered the asteroid just hours ago. Jacqueline discovered the object about 8 hours before its predicted impact. The asteroid has been given the provisional designation CAQTDL2. And here are the projected trajectories over the Philippines around 1646 UTC today. Well, that pales in comparison to a giant rock headed towards Earth called Apophis. And the chance of asteroid Apophis hitting Earth may be slightly higher than we thought. A new study looking at the potentially hazardous asteroid 99942 Apophis has suggested that the odds of an impact in 2029 or 2036 is ever so slightly higher than we thought. When Apophis was first discovered in 2004, observations briefly placed it at level 4 on the Torino Impact Hazard Scale, with a score of 0 meaning the likelihood of impact is 0, and 10 meaning a collision is certain. So 4 is certainly an eye-opener. While the level 4 might sound low, it is the highest level of any object that has been discovered since NASA first started monitoring potentially hazardous near-Earth objects. So that is the significance of Apophis and our future. Leave a comment below if it scares the bejesus out of you. Now, Dave Appel is awaiting the death of climate skeptics. This is a climate alarmist that thinks climate deniers should all die. And this is supported by mainstream media. This is how dystopian the future that we have is, where scientism is wishing the death upon actual scientists providing you with data. All the links will be below. Has reducing ship emissions brought forward global warming in the last year or so? Is Hunga Tonga also to blame? This article coming out August of this year shows that ship tracks may be to blame for a rapid spike in Atlantic Ocean waters and global temperatures worldwide. As Lee and I predicted over a year ago, now corroborated in a peer-reviewed paper coming out last month. How do you like them apples? Now predicting solar cycle 26 using the polar flux as a precursor. This paper coming out also in August, my birthday, August 28th of 2024, 53 years young. The study introduces a novel method for predicting sunspot numbers, and using the current solar cycle and past cycles, they predict solar cycle 26 using multivariate machine learning. Now the results are stunning. The results suggest that cycle 25 will have a maximum amplitude that lies below the average, and cycle 26 will reach even lower peaks. This means that the 3-cycle package, 24, 25, 26, would belong to a minimum, a grand solar minimum, of the centennial Gleisberg cycle. As was the case in the final years of the 19th century, the Dalton minimum, and the early 20th century, the Gleisberg minimum, or the centennial minimum. And this is supported by sunspot numbers. Here is a dip in 3 cycles during the transition from 1800 to the 1900s, and the transition from the 1900s into the 2000s saw a dip in these 3 cycles. Actually, for 5. It was a 5-cycle package. And now we are dipping down into 24, 25, and 26, maybe 27 and beyond. There is no one that knows how to predict these cycles, but they are picking up a pattern that we are putting down. Are you picking it up? And that's a boom to knowledge. Please join us at the Crestone Energy Fair in just a few days. Just 9 days from now. September 14th and 15th in the desert in Crestone, Colorado. Rooting forward is the theme, and we just got good news. Brad Kittle from Texas Tiny Homes will be joining us next to our booth all weekend. It's going to be an amazing event. The 35th annual Crestone Energy Fair, the longest running sustainable building fair on earth. Go get it. It's free. All you got to do is find a place to nap. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share the video. We are Shadow Band. We need your help to grow. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do and watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free, for just $1 a month. And buy the seeds. The Alliance of Native Seed Keepers, Native American, employee owned, cheapest seeds on the internet. Go get them. We love each and every one of you. And that is a boom.